Okay, hello, welcome back to the channel. Guys, today I'm going to make some bagels. I will try to get a variety of bagels. So, in my bowl, I've got flour. I am using my regular bread recipe. I will leave the link in the description for that bread recipe because I did it earlier on the channel. But nevertheless, it's 5 cups of flour, a tablespoon of yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and I usually put the sugar with the yeast to help to start the activation process. And I'm going to mix that in here first. It is advised not to ever put salt with yeast or with baking powder because it kills the strength of the raising agent. So you put the raising agent first with the sugar to activate, and you mix it in. Then you can add your salt. So I've got here my salt. I'm gonna mix this in now. Right, so I'm gonna make a well in the middle, or a hole as you may want to call it, where I'm going to pour in my vegetable oil. This is half cup of vegetable oil here. You can use any oil of your choice. If you want to use olive oil to give it a a different flavor. And I'm going to pour in 1 cup of water to start with, lukewarm water for starters. I'm going to refill the cup just in case I need more, which I will need some more. And then I'm just going to start to bring in that flour over the oil and the water. I'm going to put my hands in as soon as it starts to come in, and the spoon cannot do it anymore. Right, so I'm going to put a half cup of water again. See how that goes. Now we do not want a stiff dough. We're looking for a soft but not too sticky dough. It must be manageable. Right, so this is getting a little challenging here now with my spoon. All right, so I think this is where I need to put my hands in to the mixture. Of course, you're gonna make sure your hands are clean before you start kneading your flour. Okay, so I'm going with a 1/4 cup, and I'm gonna start to just squeeze it and bring it together. Cleaning my bowl as I go along. Remember, as a child growing up, your parents will tell you, when you're practicing to knead flour, make sure you do not leave the flour on the bowl. Clean as you go along, yeah? So I'm just squeezing and twisting. I'm going to knead it, like actually knead in a little bit. Right, so I'm using my fingers to knead it and bring it all together. But before I do this, I'm going to separate my flour. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm going to be innovative here now. I'm putting half in another bowl And I will continue with this one using my fingers, bringing it all together. I'm gonna just sprinkle some dry flour to my fingers to get this portion of dough off, a little to the bottom of the dough ball. Right, not too much, as we know we don't want a stiff dough. Definitely not. We don't want to pelt someone with the with the bagel at the end of the day and it knock them out, yeah? Alright. Just making sure my fingers are clean from it. Bring it into a nice smooth ball. And I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to put it in the oven. The oven is off, but the heat, because of the heat in the oven, is warm because it's closed. It will help for this to raise or proof nicely, as you see. And before I go any further, I'm going to, I won't clean it as yet. I'll show you. I'm going to put some oil on it so it won't crack. But with this one now, here what I'm going to do, I am going to put some cinnamon and raisins, because I want this half of my dough to be cinnamon and raisin bagel. So I just sprinkled some raisins, what am I saying? I just sprinkled some cinnamon on the raisins. And some of these raisins were ridiculously huge, so I literally cut them in half. Right, so I'm just gonna whip this in here now. Whip this in. It may give some resistance, but you control the flour. Don't let the flour control you. So it's coming in nicely. And I'm just gonna put a little more, same as before. Get my fingers clean. All right, so this is what I'm going to do now. The remaining, there may be a little drip of oil in the measuring cup. I'm going to just pour it here. If you need more, you can always add more. And I'm going to rub it over the dough so it won't get dry or crack whilst it's raising, or while we leave it to proof, as we may say. So it's here. So see, nice. So I'm going to clean this now. Cling it, and I'm going to place it in my oven. What you can do also, you can put like a bowl of hot water on the bottom shelf, and that the heat from that will help with the proofing of this dough. So here it is, folks, plain cinnamon raisin. Yeah, so I'll come back. Okay, folks, so our dough has risen quite nicely. I'm gonna work with the here's the other one. I'm gonna work with the cinnamon raisin first. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here now, I'm gonna flour the counter. All right, so I'm gonna start making it into the balls. Not just average. About 3 inches in diameter. Right, so I got 6 here. So I'm just going to make it into a perfect circle. And if it's sticking to your hands, you can flour your hands a bit. Right, so the next step is to make the hole in the middle. If you have a small cookie cutter, you can use that, or if not, you just got to be innovative. So here I've got, this is a condiment container, yeah? So I grease the inside and I'm gonna use this to cut the bagels. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna press it down now. Press them down. Flatten them. And I'm going to use this to cut a hole in the middle. Alright, so the excess piece, we can always put it back into the bowl and we can make up another bagel with that, with those cutouts, those like, you know, you see I have donut holes, well, bagel holes. We can use that to make another bagel. So basically this is it here, right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna put my fingers to try to maintain that hole, and I'm gonna put it here. All right, don't worry about how flat it may look, it's gonna come out perfect. All right, flatten this other one. Yep, don't worry about it. As long as you maintain the outer circle, inside will work on its own. Yep. All right, so let me do some of the other one now. Right, so here we go again. Put a little more flour to the counter, it won't stick. So we're trying to get the same 6 here, but this one was a little more. Remember, I didn't measure the flour. I just averaged and cut it and divided it in two. So this one is giving me 7 bagels. Right, so again, same procedure. Form a nice little ball. Flour your hands if it's getting sticky. Where you can work with it and cut your hole in the middle. Yeah, so I'm going to take you across to the cooker now and show you how we're going to steam it for a little bit. Some persons say you boil them before you bake them, but it's just a little steaming on the outside. We're not even gonna cover it to steam it, yeah? Just gonna give it that little needed hot water to hold the flour on the outside. All right, here. So one more. Don't be afraid to get your hands in the flour. Hands in flour could do so many things. You can be an artist, flour artist. You can make wonders with your hands in flour. Right, so this is here, and I'm going to take you across to the cooker now and see how it's going to be done. Okay, so here we are. Our water is at a rolling boil. And we're just going to take the bagel and put it in the dough. We're just going to put it in there. And give it a flip. Just flip. And flip. And flip. Right, and that's it. Right, so you're gonna drain it here now. The slotted spatula, and put it in your baking tray, grease baking tray, or you can put it on parchment paper, but I believe you still have to grease it because remember it's wet, so it will stick to the paper, yeah? So you just put it in there. And you leave it to raise a bit. And I just want to show something for those of you who probably don't have a cookie cutter or what I use, the condiment container, yeah? Just put your thumb in the middle and make a hole. That's all you got to do. Just put your thumb and you make that hole. It's as easy as that. Push your thumb in the middle, put your 2 fingers, index or whatever fingers you choose to use, and make that hole. Alright? So I'm going to come back again and show you how to glaze them before you put them to bake in a little bit. Here we are, folks. So our bagels has been sealed in the boiling water. All right, and we're gonna do a variety here now. I can't seem to find my pastry brush, so at the end of the day, let's do it the old-time way. This is a paper towel, yeah, and I'm just going to cut it, fold it and cut it. All right, not finding a pastry brush is not the end of the world right now. Life goes on. Right. Make sure it's opening out there. All right, cool. So this is it. This is melted butter I've got here. And we're gonna glaze them with the melted butter. I'll start with the cinnamon raisin first. Just glaze all in the middle of the hole. Just pass that butter in there. And then you can cling it again, leave it to rise for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then put your oven, while that's raising, you put your oven to heat at 400 degrees. And we're gonna bake it for around 20 minutes. Yeah, keep your eye on it and you will see what color, desired color you think you're happy with. All right, so see, they're raising there. The glaze, and they are raising already. All right, that's one. So here I've got some flaxseed or linseed. I've got some black sesame seeds. I've got some garlic powder and mixed herbs, or you can use freshly grated garlic. I've got some chia seeds or chia seeds, and I've got some poppy seeds. All right, so I'm going to continue glazing these plain ones and put a variety of seeds on top of them. Yep, it's as easy as that. So you don't need to go buying expensive bagels at the supermarkets anymore. You can make your own. Make them, let me know how they came out. If you have other ideas about varieties, there are a lot of varieties. You could do cheese, you could sprinkle Parmesan cheese on the top. Anything that you choose to put on the top of these bagels, you can do so. Right, so first I'm going to use the garlic powder with mixed herbs. Mixed herbs, it's what's in here? Marjoram. Okay, this one is parsley. Yeah, parsley. And this mixed herbs has where is the ingredients? Okay, thyme, marjoram, some other can't pronounce that. Right, so I'm sprinkling this on some of it. All right, this one is sesame seeds. I'm gonna sprinkle this here. This one is poppy seed. Sprinkle here. You can probably put some red chili flakes also, that will look nice. Yep, I'll see if I can find some on top. Put on top with the garlic and herb. That will look really not lovely. This is some chai or chia. Some of us pronounce it chai, some pronounce it chia. And I've got some flax seed here, or linseed. And of course, we can make a mixture of everything together. Yep. We can mix it all up for one of them. So that's some chia there. That's some flax there. Yeah, and the dogs are barking. And this is some black sesame seeds. This is some poppy seeds. and I'm gonna leave it to raise, and then I'm gonna put it to bake. So when I come back, they'll be all done. All done. Okay, folks, so here are our bagels. These are our bagels. This one is sesame seed, flaxseed. This is a mixture, or this one was the mixed one. This is the garlic and herb. This is cinnamon raisin. Yeah. And I went ahead and I cut inside. So the outside is crunchy. The top could have gotten a little more color. And the inside is soft and nice. Soft and nice. This is our garlic herb. Crunchy on the outside. Yep. Soft and nice on the inside. Yep. So guys, I'm not gonna eat from this one. I'm gonna break one here because I want to take a photo. I want to take a photo. So you can go ahead and try them, taste them, tell me how they are, and enjoy. Thank you for viewing. Those of you here for the first time, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'm going to add the link for the original bread recipe, which I use here in the bagels, in the description. So see you on. Ciao, ciao.